Good morning, guys. Good morning to you all out there. How are we this morning? All good, I hope. All good. Okay, so what's in the news today? Well, according to Matt Law, and I'm not sure whether this is a leak or whether it has any credibility, but having read it, I'm pretty sure it's going to do nothing but cause more uncertainty and very unsettling. And I'm actually going to link this with several headlines, which basically says that Chelsea could be the first team in history to sack the players, not the manager. Now, according to Matt Law, sacking Graham Potter has not even been discussed. It's not even a consideration. It's all about the possibility of a massive player clear-out, which, according to several of these journals, is all about Koulibaly, Kepa, Havertz, Pulisic, Ziyech, Jorginho, possibly Kova, Aubameyang, Aspilicueta, mass clear-out, standing by Graham Potter. And the idea is to re-establish the wage bill to a level, I quote, and this comes from several sources, Todd Bowley and Clearlake Capital. They want to create a process of rebalancing the wages so that the first team squad go on a basic wage with lucrative bonuses, like win bonuses and if you achieve certain goals, etc. etc. I just think, honestly, just the way all these changes, I just feel like we are going to have a massive backward step in order to go forward, because this is their plan, this is their project, this is their process. Something which we've never, ever really had, to be fair. We had a plan, we had a process, but it was our process. It was all based on, I wouldn't say fear, but Roman Abramovich was a very aloof character, a man of no words, not few words, but no words. Very rare he would do any type of interview. In fact, I can't remember, I think once or twice he'd done some, he wrote some information for us all to be aware of during the sanctions, when Frank Lampard obviously went too, because he felt it was big enough to do so. And this is, I guess, to do with ending the player power scenario, which I don't think there is. I don't think, people say that he's lost the dressing room, I don't think he's ever had the dressing room. And I guess it's all about whether, you feel that he is good enough, he is the right person. If you actually look at what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to do, it's completely alien to what we've been used to, yeah? And so this is probably why they're sticking with what they got, because this is a marathon, not a sprint, but it's a long-term goal where it's based on purely and simple principles of sustainability. It's that buzz fucking word that you hear all the time these days, and certainly not something that we've been used to as a football club. Personally, I'd like to see a proper manager come in, and look, if players have to come and go, fair enough, but tactically you've got to be there, you've got to be strong enough, mentally strong enough to be able to handle players, and you need to have a very proactive approach. But I think the way they're going about it in a very kind of passive way, like clear everything out and start again, but it's not just start again, but a complete process. I think, if ever he was to plot the demise of a football club, this is the way to do it. It really does feel like it's been a hit job. It's been a mass as I say, conspiracy. It's like, it's almost like, it's like we've become, we're going to become an also-ran club. I'm not saying we won't be a massive club and this, that and the other, but I just think how we're used to things, I just don't see it, you know, being like that anymore. You know, for me, everything about this is illogical. They're saying, and a lot of them are saying, that this is a move that's completely backed by Chelsea fans who were seen outside the stadium after the Fulham defeat, shouting out, "Don't give up, keep the faith." I know one of those characters too is obviously Lewis, or it sounded like him anyway. The greatest manager ever, he shouted out. Really, Lewis? The greatest manager ever? Fuck me, mate. 31% win ratio for Brighton. Simon Jordan absolutely summed it up perfectly when he said going from Swansea to Brighton is a big move, but going from Brighton to Chelsea, it's like flying to the fucking moon. And you know, what can I say? It's one giant leap Potter can't make. You know, all of it's illogical for me. The only way I would change this, or at least address this, would be to bring in someone that knows the club, knows the culture. Someone like Jose Mourinho. Maybe he could bring in John Terry alongside him. A real Chelsea culture. Get the likes of Ashley Cole, about a lot of the old faces, and get them in there. And you know, Todd Bowley takes a back seat. You know, get on with developing the stadium. How they're going to do that, I really don't know. But you know, things like that, and be there. Obviously, you know, to get new players in, and you know, that sort of, to deal with that sort of thing. But it just seems like the whole culture, the ethos, the whole process is being unravelled. And as I say, they've done everything too quickly, too soon. You know, all the things that were working, they should have just left in place and just tweaked it here and there, and then added bits that were going to make it, you know, much better. But they didn't. They ripped everything out. You know, as I say, I keep going on about it, but even the medical side of things, you know, we've got rid of people that have been there a long time at the club, and I'm not saying that's the reason why we've got massive injury issues, but there is a problem. And so it seems as though this is how it is. And I don't really know what to say, to be totally honest with you guys, but and you know, we have a new fan base that will go along this. I've had messages of people saying, oh, you know, what you want about and this, and I just think, well, you know, I can't get my head around people sometimes, you know what I mean? And I'm glad there's a lot of people, and I read all the comments, guys. You know that I'll try and comment on every single one. I can see there's a lot of support for what I say, and I can tell how you feel about things too. I don't know, guys, where this is going. I really don't. But it does seem to me that even if we lose tomorrow against Crystal Palace, and I think we've got Liverpool after that at Anfield. Funny enough, we've got Fulham coming up again, haven't we, at home? I mean, how far do you let it slide, you know? Does there come a point when even they, despite all this bollocks that they put in place, does there come a point where they go, oh, hang on a minute, enough is enough? And if that's the case, do they then bring in a similar type of person? Perhaps Gareth Southgate will slot in next, you know? Someone that looks the part, don't say a lot, says all the right things. I don't know, guys. I prefer it when we were rated. And look at the media, they're all over us right now, you know? They love it, don't they, you know? And of course they love it. I'm always suspicious about that, because I prefer it when they hate us, because we're doing well. And I almost suspicious of other fans of other clubs saying, oh, it's just, you know, you need to give him time and all that bollocks. Why? And other managers too, you know. It's funny how Pep Guardiola, everyone keeps mentioning how he says it, but I remember him saying that about Sarri. I remember him saying that about Frank Lampard. I remember him saying that about Thomas Tuchel, and saying the same thing about Graham Potter. You know, it's just, what's he going to say? Your next manager in place, so is that the same thing if he's under a bit of pressure? I really don't know, guys. I'm just distraught with everything right now. But according to Matt Law, and you don't know whether that's a brown envelope leak or what, but, and let's have it right, this sort of thing is going to create uncertainty in its own right. But sacking Potter is not even being discussed or even a consideration. Instead, there'll be a massive player clear out, and they're calling it everywhere that Chelsea could be, in other words, we're flipping everything on its axis. We're going to be totally refreshing and incredible the way we're going about it, but we could be the first team in history to sack the players, not the manager. You know, I mean, we have had player power in the past, but I think we had a different set of players in that dressing room. I mean, we had 11 captains, 11 winners: Drogba, Lampard, Terry, Cole, Essien, Ballack, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Just absolute winners, you know, and players that just, you know, they could see when things weren't right. That's a player power, you know, with people with absolute. I don't think these players can command that factor, and I don't think he's got them the dressing room either. You know, and I see Thiago Silva's missus again has come out and tweeted, you know, so it tells its own story. Yeah, if she feels that she can do that, it says its own story, you know. I don't know, guys. I don't really know what to say. I could do with some help, so let me know what you think down below. I mean, listen, I want us to win tomorrow, and I'll back Graham Potter for that reason, because it's Chelsea at the end of the day, yeah. But I just think he should go, and then we go down a different route. In other words, we, you know. But it seems to me as that you may as well get it out of your head, because by the sounds of it, there is a completely different flip on how we operated in the past. In other words, this is a completely different animal now. And, you know, change can be good, but change can also be very unsettling. And if you rip everything out, take all the familiar faces away, people that you're comfortable with, it makes you feel uneasy, on edge. You know, you get those sort of butterflies, and, you know, that self-doubt. And we know that everything's based on psychology, how you think and everything else. And if you just put those added pressures in place, it's fucked, isn't it? You know, just fucked. So in order to raise the Titanic, it's almost like you're going to go through this whole painful period now, and then go up slowly, you know, as opposed to keeping us at that level where we were at the time, tweaking little bits and pieces and kicking on further levels. But they're billionaires, and they should do it their way. These people know best. It's a global world, and unfortunately we're part of that process, you know. Anyway, guys, much love as always. Let me know what you think down below, and if there's any changes, obviously I'll put something up, and up the Chelsea. Speak to you soon, guys.